Hi, listeners. I'm just continuing my talk around boundaries, and I'm going to work with 4 tips to build better boundaries with people. Just recapping from the last chat, we were talking about boundaries broken up into 2 words, bound versus Aries. And Aries being impatient determination with something, and bound being leaping with impatient determination, or either being tied to someone with impatient determination. So just following on from that, the 4 tips that I have for you is step 1, take time to introspect, to really think about identifying what are your limits. And what we mean by that is often a sign that you are stressed or you are uncomfortable means that you've reached a limit. So in what areas of your life physically do you become uncomfortable? In what areas of your life emotionally do you become uncomfortable? In what areas of your life socially do you become uncomfortable? And also in terms of in what areas of your life spiritually do you also become uncomfortable? And once you can identify what those specific discomforts are, your mind will be more in tune to when there are red flags, as to when people are having conversations or asking things of you that are creating and elevating discomfort to which you are not happy with. So just tuning into that helps you identify where your limits are and to realize when people push you, if you know where they are, you're going to recognize that much easier, and that's going to serve you much better. Okay. Also, a key one to start learning to identify is resentment. Okay, you know that feeling of resentment, you know what it feels like in your moods, and you know what it feels like in your body. Think about when you think about resentment towards a person or a situation, where do you feel it in your body? And it usually is somewhere around the abdomen area, building up deeper at a deeper level. Because when you feel resentment, it's an indication that somebody or some situation has crossed that boundary with you. Okay. Also, that's number 2, is identifying the discomfort of the resentment. Step 3 is acknowledging and pausing to self-reflect so that you can check yourself. Because pausing just naturally slows the process down. And when you slow the process down, you think about what you're wanting, and you think about if your actions are going to align with what you're wanting, which brings us back to that word congruence. Okay, once you have that congruence, and if you act in a more congruent way, anxiety goes. And then the 4th step is, and I'm sure most of you have heard this a lot, using I language. Not I as in I, but I as in me. Okay, and learning to express yourself more comfortably with I language. I feel. Perhaps you feel stressed because, and then think about the behavior that makes you feel stressed. Okay, so I feel stressed because I feel like I'm going on a roller coaster with you. 1 minute you want this and 1 minute you want that. So I never quite know what's going to be okay with you. So just being able to verbalize that is helping you and someone else work out boundaries. And then another example of I language is to be able to say, I feel I need to be honest with you. And it's just not sitting well with me at the thought of participating in this. So I just want to honor the way that I feel. Being able to verbalize that shows somebody that this is not about them. This is not about any private vendetta against them. It's about identifying what's sitting well with you and just honoring that. So they're less inclined to take it personally, which means they're less inclined to defend themselves. Okay, so in summary, 4 tips for healthier boundaries. Step number 1, take time to introspect to identify your limits. Socially, emotionally, spiritually, physically, all of those areas. Okay, step 2, learn to identify resentment. Where do you feel it in your body? How does it present itself to you? And that's a sign that somebody's crossing a boundary with you. Step 3, acknowledge and pause to create some time to really solidify what you're needing from the whole process. And then step 4, using I language to express how you feel and the reason for that feeling to help someone understand you better. And that way, that person is able to be less defensive towards you and also feel that it's less personal. Okay, I hope that helps. Enjoy your evening.